We are live, live, live.
Mm.
Here on the Black Motivation broadcast. Here with Chef Cordaro Davis, entrepreneur, chef, film producer, actor, everything, everything, everything. We are so excited to have you on here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for the invitation. Pleasure to be here.
For sure, for sure. So before we get into this, tell us how your day was going.
Oh, my
How
day is great. I can't complain. I'm still here. You know what I
Hey.
mean? Another day breathing is another blessing. So it's been good. Getting ready for a couple of dinner parties I have this weekend coming up for a couple of parties, a couple of friends in town. So I did prep and also prepping my pizza for Friday because we go up every Friday out here in LA, man. Inglewood up to no good.
Hey, tell us a little bit about that. So what's going on Friday?
So Fridays, since the COVID hit, 4 months ago now, started right after Father's Day. I went home to Maryland to visit my family, my daughter. Came home. I've been talking about pizza for a long time, most of my life. You know, something a pastime I did with my father growing up, and also I shared that with my daughter when she was younger. So we love pizza, and that's one thing that everyone likes from all walks of life. But that's one thing that you don't see us making as Black men or Black women or Black chefs in the kitchen. So having the blessing from my partners at Comfort LA, they was like, man, go ahead and do it. So I just opened up shop, man, started making dough. I met some local chefs who shout out to Chef Joe, who showed me how to make the dough. I'm gonna put a little sexy seasoning on it, make it my own way. And we've been going ever since. Every Friday, you know, we do Cordaro's Pizza, man, right here out the crib.
Hey, exciting. Well, we definitely need to be finding out about this and getting people, to come out and support for sure. So now we got a little bit into your day. Let's hop straight into this interview. Okay.
Yep.
So you are a multi-talented entrepreneur, tax professional, chef, film producer, actor. You are amazingly talented at everything you do. So at the same time, we already talked about this. You got a lot. You're handed a lot. So how do you find time to balance everything?
I find time about first journaling. I had about 3 or 4 journals at one time simultaneously. So I do a to-do list before I go to bed, and also when I wake up in the morning, and like jot little notes down. It's hard to find balance. So it's just like as I get up, if I go by the flow and the vibe. So if I get up, I got a song in my head, I write a song. If I got a recipe in my head, I write that down. I try something out for breakfast or any idea. Write it down. So the balance is I just go with the flow. So I don't force nothing. So whatever I feel, I go with.
Okay. And I want to thank our visitors, our viewers for joining us tonight. So tell us about your journey to becoming a private chef and about following your father's footsteps and to enter into the hospitality field.
Indeed. So my journey, man, I go back, all praise due to my mom and father. They both retired from the Army. My dad was a chef. But my father, that's one thing. My dad's a twin, so him and my uncle, my dad and my uncle were both chefs in the Army, so I always looked up to them. And they're both entertainers, so seeing them dance and sing and always serve with a smile. That's one thing we say. Me and my dad is it's a pleasure to serve. Yeah. So it's one thing I always enjoy. Growing up seeing him, my dad do his little flair, but he always kept it simple. And so for me, the way I do it, it's less is more.
Yes.
My dad, he makes 5 great dishes and look and taste good every time. So I'm the same way. Like I lock in on a couple of dishes I love to make and hone in on that. So to give you a big menu. Now I'm gonna give you the best meat, and meat is in these 5 lanes. That's how we do it. But coming when I was in the film, I got out here in 2014. I met Jeremy McBride. I call him my big brother, my partner, man, my Leo buddy. So we was he was in film. I was a PA on the set, and I was in a new city. I was observing, sitting back. I didn't want to do too much. I was trying to learn the game. He was like, "Man, go ahead, loosen up, man, chill, play the game, do this, and hang out with me." And then one day, his partner, the strategist, man, Mr. Mark Walker, they came in. They had a concept. Jeremy called me. He's like, "Hey, man, I know if we do this, I call my homeboy, I know we can go all the way." So he gave me the opportunity to come on in there with those 2 brothers, man, and be a 3-headed monster and build Comfort LA up and, teach me the game about entrepreneurship in a new city, man, going out there, stepping out on faith and making it happen. I all praise to my dad, Jeremy McBride, and also Mark, the strategist Walker. And so, me getting into that, man, I always love entertaining folks. And I think, I see food as a vessel.
Yeah.
And so I use all my talents, to talk to people, meet people through that. And everyone I've met in all facets of my business career has been through food.
Mm-hmm.
I cook for you first, and the next I'm managing your business. I cook for you on the weekend. They're like, oh, you do taxes? Yeah, I'm doing your books. So I use food.
Yes. Network. I am all about networking. So speaking of your 5 lanes, your favorite things to cook, what are some of your favorite things to cook? Things you think you can put out in the kitchen. Yes.
We're going to have fun with this. So I'm going to go back.
Okay.
I'm going to keep it simple. So PB&J, peanut butter and jelly is number 5. With the honey wheat, you got to have honey wheat bread.
Specifically.
And strawberry jam. I don't want no Concord grape. You got to have that Smucker's strawberry jam in there. You know what I mean? So we got to have the honey wheat with PB&J. You got to have the Peter Pan peanut butter with honey.
Yes.
The honey roasted Peter Pan peanut butter. Ain't no Jif in my kitchen.
Not at all. That's
number 5. That's number 5. Number 4, I would say chimichangas. It's a fried burrito, a Latin American dish. Something again my dad did when I was a kid. So we use ground turkey, bell peppers, onions. Sometimes if you like mushroom, a little bit of pepper jack and cheddar cheese wrapped in the burrito, seal it and fry it with some fresh red chili sauce we make out of tomato paste, a little bit of cumin, chili powder, a little bit of salt and pepper, give it a little seasoning. And that's it, man, with some saffron rice. So that's number 4. The chimichangas. Number 3 is fajitas.
Fajitas, man.
Fajitas. Fresh off the grill. Fajitas. You can't get it lukewarm. We gotta have it with that.
No.
We all know that.
Exactly.
You gotta get it fresh off the stove. Number 2, pizza. Can't go wrong with pizza. I love pizza. That's why we got Cordaro's Pizzeria jumping every Friday. And also number 1, man, is my go-to any time of the day, any time of the year. Chicken Parmesan.
Chicken Parmesan.
Plain, simple, nice little homemade marinara. With tomatoes, little basil, little garlic in there, little oregano, a light bread on the chicken, cut it real thin, fry it real quick. Nice little, linguine or angel hair nook pasta.
Yes. It's a wrap.
You can't beat it.
Cannot beat it. For sure. So speaking of Black-owned businesses, because you are an entrepreneur, let's get into a little bit of questions. There's a lot of conversation going on right now about Black-owned businesses and people putting very high standards on Black-owned businesses that they don't put on other businesses. Not going to say who the other businesses are. We're just going to say other businesses owned by other people. So what do you think about that? About the different standards that people hold people to, and should we be meeting those standards? Let's have a conversation about that.
I say that's a great question, Ashley. I'm glad you asked that. And there is a double standard. I would say the core to that, I would say that the trauma that we all been through being Black in America. So when we see each other, it's like an embattlement, like embitterment we have. You're like, oh, nah, why you doing this? Because we all been to all the other establishments from other backgrounds and ethnic groups. And we have bad service. And we go back every day.
Exactly.
But as soon as I trip and slip, I might, I might burn something this time. But instead of you like, hey, chef, you put a little less salt, or the season was a little bit too much on this time. You be like, oh, I'm going to Yelp. I ain't coming back no more. I'm like, oh, what did I do? I'm not perfect. I'm here to learn, man. We're supposed to be a team. If I do something wrong, come check me. Come let me know. Hey, man, I paid this and this and that. Hey, you mind if I get another one? I won't really feel in the sauce, or if something was too sweet, or it was burnt, or it took too long. I'm gonna come to you as a businessman and as a respectful human being. I appreciate that criticism. You know what? Right now, I'm gonna give you the next one on the house, and I'm gonna give you one tonight as well. And here's your refund. I apologize about that. Better. So I think if we approach with love and respect, man, we'll be better. But we all traumatized them, so we got to get rid of that. We got to heal from within first, and see each other. So when I see you as my sister or my brother down the street in the morning, I say, good morning. I love you.
Right.
I
So
love
tell
you.
us a little bit about Comfort LA too, your restaurant that you founded or co-founded. Tell us a little bit about that. Get into that.
Indeed. Again, like I told you, man, shout out to Jeremy, man, and Mark. Them guys, man, brought me in the roast with them, man. The fold, they had a concept, and they say, hey, man, we want to come on in here, man, and learn the game. Let's do this as a three-headed monster. And so I'm not with the restaurant. I got to do my own thing now, but we still partner together.
Right.
But them guys showed me the ropes, man. It's love every day. This last year we did a Morehouse homecoming, so we did a Morehouse filming. So that was a experience of a lifetime, you know. So just I would say, man, Comfort LA has been that meeting place for all walks of life. When you come there, man, you feel comfortable. You at home. It's like it's a family vibe. When you see Big Jeremy in there, Big J, he smiled like, "What's up with you?" You know, Jeremy 6'5", he a big teddy bear. You got Mark, Mark over there, the strategy, he over there, he doing business. You know, so Jeremy is loving and Mark doing the business, man. So it's like it was a happy family. Happy family. Indeed.
Speaking of family, it must be a very proud thing to be involved with your family business. So tell us a little bit about Davis and Sons Tax Service and the role you play. Start there.
Indeed. Davis and Sons Tax Service started as Bullock's Tax Service, my mother's maiden name. So we've been in business for over 40 years now. I'm sorry, going on 40 years. But it all started from my great uncle Tyrone, rest in peace. He had worked for H&R Block for I think a short period of time, like 1 or 2 years. But I think the lesson I'm gonna give it in this story is the importance of having a great woman beside you. He went home to my grandmother, his sister, and said, "Trisha, I can do this on my own, but I need some help." And my grandmother, she did what y'all do. You take everything, you mold it together. The next year, they hop out on faith, man, and show me the ropes of business and the importance of it, how to be a small business and connect to the community. For example, we did taxes, but my uncle, he fed people every weekend. We cleaned up trash in the neighborhood in Anacostia every Saturday morning with T-shirt that said Bullock's Tax Service, which now says Davis and Sons, because just generations from my Uncle Bradley running it now, and I just help, as a consultant and also as a tax preparer. So, I'm not a CPA, so I don't give advice, but I send you and direct you to the tax code, which is what I can do as a licensed preparer.
Awesome. And so switching back to, the chef side, because that's, your main thing right now. What advice do you have to give to chefs that are coming up in the industry behind you, who want to get into restaurants, want to build a name for themselves? What advice would you have to give to them?
You have to find your lane and stick to it. A piece of advice I give to young cats, even if whatever field you in, man, you can't walk straight looking left and right. So you got to lock in and hone in on what you're great in. Like for me, for example, I'm doing pizza right now. They say I do some of the best pizza in LA, if not the West Coast. That's what they say. That's what they tell me. But for brunch, right? I keep it simple. I do a country brunch, which I do. So it's like, scrambled eggs, grits, home fries, bacon, eggs. I do jalapeno cheddar chicken and waffles, and I might do a couple omelets. But when people hire me, can you do all this? Can you do blueberry and pecan? No. I'm going to give you this. So find something what you're great at and willing to put time in, because as a book we read, Malcolm Gladwell, he said 10,000 hours, man. 10,000 hours. When you look at it, that's a year and 3 months. And if you only know something, we've been in COVID for 10 months now. I'm sorry, 8 months. 8 months. So out of a year, you get 8,000 plus hours in 1 year. So if we just lock in during this time, we'll find any talent that you have, you'll be 3/4 of the way there. You'll be professional. So that's what I did. I locked in on pizza. I went back. I remember doing with my dad and my daughter, and then learned new stuff. So for some chefs that taught me the way out here, came in, man. So my advice is, man, to find your lane, make sure it's what you want to do, and create a story behind it, because it's that story. There's pizza spots everywhere. There's soul food spots every corner, but the story behind it is what makes it. And be personal. Don't be the chef because, water. Going to culinary school, I didn't go to culinary school. I learned from my grandmothers and my father. But the people I work with in kitchens, all from Miami to LA, even back home in DC and Maryland, the chefs who went to culinary school, they had like the temper tantrum, like the attitude problem. They're not very. It's a lot. It's very aggressive, screaming, yelling. Come on, it's rushed. But someone who's passion for it and love it, you'll be the best. I'm telling you, man. If you just make barbecue sauce, but if you make barbecue sauce with a smile on your face and love, you're gonna make it. You're gonna make it.
Very true. So speaking of, the energies and the different personalities, that are going on. Hey, Gus Clark is tuning in with us. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Hey. So speaking of the different personalities that you work with in the industry, both as a chef, working with other chefs, and working with different clients, what advice do you have to give to people who are stepping into the industry? You know what I mean? Who are new to the game?
Okay, yeah, this is my best advice for that.
Okay.
Don't share everything that you're doing. And I mean by that, like, don't, man. People want to see you fail more than they want to see you win. Even the ones that might be your associates. I repeat, your associates. I ain't say your friends or your right. You got us. We have a small core, but we got 1,000 associates. So be wary of that. So don't, like, for example, I cook for people that I would never promote or put out unless my client does it first.
Okay.
I would never show who you cooking for. Ain't none of your business. It's private information. But if they post me, I'll repost. But I'm not going out and say, I'm cooking for this person, cooking for that person. All the show out is done. Like COVID-19, they didn't put, like, we're on the same playing field now. All that showing out, and who you stunting for? Hey, don't stunt, man. And I don't like the term be humble. Just be quiet. Be quiet and serve and learn.
Yes.
That's it.
You're gonna get much farther. You know what I mean? Like you said, not stunting, not doing it for the gram. You know what I mean? I'm putting all these people out there. You're not gonna get much farther by being quiet.
Exactly, because and that's another thing. Everybody don't want to be on the gram. Everybody don't want to be on so be wary of that, man. And try. I'll say this too. Don't ever get comfortable. Don't ever get comfortable.
Yes.
No matter what you do, I don't care if it's your brother, your sister, your wife, husband, whatever, business. Don't ever get comfortable. Like you have to check yourself weekly, if not daily. Yeah. Because we all get blessed. You be like, oh yeah, I think I'm the. Nah, you ain't nothing, man. You just as good as what you did now, what you're doing now. I mean, we all say you're good as yesterday, but you're just as good as what you're doing right now. So yeah, I made you a great piece of yesterday, but if I burn it today, what you gonna say? Oh, he burned pieces. I burned 1 out of 10. But now I burn pieces because they love to see you fail more than they want to see you win. Exactly. So be aware of that. Don't be comfortable. Sit back, man. Observe, listen, learn, man, and be the silent killer. That's my uncle Dave would say. Be the silent killer, man. Be the silent killer. Smile, calm them, go to work, go home.
Exactly. So I want to thank Malcolm Edwards for joining us as well. He says best chef ever and all that to our conversation.
You see these boxes right here, right? That's my brother. Easy.
Yes.
He designed these boxes right here. These are some of the first boxes that came out in the pizza. So these right here.
Awesome.
These boxes.
Awesome. So big shout out to Easy.
Yeah.
Big shout out. Thank you for joining us for sure. So, switching topics, when did you develop an interest in acting and film, and how do you feel that connects to the other endeavors that you've got going on right now?
Yes. So from what my grandmothers and my aunt, shout out to my aunt Ann, that's my baby. She raised me up down there in Gloucester. She said I came out singing, dancing. I've been entertaining my family. I've been at every cookout, singing, humping the ground, all the crisscross and other bad creation. Me and my cousin Chris, we had a little dance tandem going for like 5 years.
Hey.
I've done every talent show in elementary, middle school, and high school, college. I've hosted many things, did plays, everything. So I believe it's in my blood. Again, my dad was an entertainer before he went to the military. Him and my uncle was breakdancing and all that back in Virginia. Yeah. And it's me. So it exudes every day.
Hey, so it's just in you, and what in you has got to come out of you.
Indeed, and with that, man, again, like I've met a lifelong brother and a partner of mine, Jeremy, through just being behind the scenes, like learning the film game. So again, my background is business. Have my MBA and understanding, the business game from my mother and my father as well. So I wanted to learn the business side, like producing, directing, and everything. But that's how I met Jeremy. Jeremy was an actor on the show, and next you know, I'm his partner. A year later.
So awesome. See how God works. Look at that. Look at that.
Indeed.
For sure. So speaking of shows, what are some of your favorite television shows that are on right now?
Oh, on right now.
And then of all time, Black television shows of all time.
Well, all time. Martin. I still watch Martin. Yeah, so I haven't seen a show that has topped Martin yet, but I am a critical thinker, so I do like a little bit of sci-fi sometimes, but I like stuff to make you think. So one show that I'm watching right now, I did finish watching Lovecraft. I thought that was a good show, and deep on a more of a metaphysical understanding in like ancient science or occult science, what they say, but it's more science that came from us and our ancestors for over thousands of years.
Right.
So it was good to see that, so for someone who studies occult sciences, so I understood it, but someone who may not get it might go over your head. But I like the stuff that you got to watch 3 or 4 times to understand and get.
Yeah, so that's true. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit earlier before we came on about movies. So let's talk about top 5 Black movies of all time.
Ooh, top 5 Black movies.
Some film trivia.
Number 5.
Okay.
Coolie High, number 5.
Okay.
Number 4, Spook Who Sat by the Door.
Okay.
Number 3.
Okay.
Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood
for me. Number 2, Life. Martin, Eddie Murphy. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And number 1, I watch this at least once a month. Coming to America.
Coming to America, y'all. Y'all have heard it here first. Top 5 movies, Black films of all time.
Yep.
Cordaro Davis. Yeah. All right. Let's hop back straight into this interview. So what do you think about the new trend of placing Black Lives Matter signs on businesses that are not Black owned and other signs of solidarity that are coming from other business owners during this time of unrest where we got a lot going on right now?
I think it's disingenuous, to be honest. I think, they're going with the trend to be safe. There's no monolith of anything, and there's no absolutes. That's how I see it. So I'm not saying all people are bad or this and that. I know some of y'all are like this from other walks of life, but you really don't rock with it. And it's not Black Lives Matter, it's Black Money Matters. Because all you want is our money.
Right.
Every facet of life and business is on our backs.
Mm-hmm.
We fund everything and create the most jobs, but have no money nor jobs, which is crazy.
Right. Yeah,
crazy. And the fact that's why I believe it's disingenuous. Because you still treat me the same way. This treatment going on since day one in this country. It's never changed. So when people come be shocked, I'm like, what? Are you asleep at the wheel? There's no way you can live here in this country, have an iPhone or a smartphone or a tablet, any movie, any TV show, any news, and she like
internet access. Okay.
Yeah, if you're off the grid, and I'm not talking down the Amish who are off the grid,
right?
So they may not know because you want the technology, but anyone else, man, there's no excuse. No excuse. I'm not a person to sit here and tell you what to do with your money or your business. I get it because at the end of the day, it all is business. This country is business, so it's not personal. But I think it's disingenuous. And so again, let's go back to the look and observe.
Right.
Sit, walk in that store and see how they treat you still to this day. If it's the same, nothing changed, don't go back.
Right.
Don't go back. But I think to answer your question again, it's disingenuous, and I'm not a fan of it.
Right. It's just a facade for a lot, not saying all, but for a lot of people.
But
go ahead.
I would say a majority of it. I would say 90% is a fraud. Because ain't nothing changed. Men and women of our kind are still getting traumatized, man, and abused every day. And it's sad.
For sure. I want to thank Sean McGuire for tuning in with us and commenting. He said the whole plan on the upward movement. I see much love. Much love to you as well, Sean. Thank you so much for joining us. So, as a Black-owned business owner in 2020, specifically with your restaurant, with your pizza business during COVID-19, how have you made adjustments to stay afloat and to thrive?
Oh, creative. You got to stay creative, man. Like, again, I use all the facets we were talking about earlier. You brought up the music, the film, taxes, the acting, producing. I put all that. I created characters. Over the past year, I created a character called Uncle Willie, which I do. Uncle Willie is an old man. He retired, but he's trying to be young again in the streets. Trying to be hip. So I use Uncle Willie. If you follow me on Instagram and Facebook, you'll see videos I post weekly about pizzas. I made a song for my pizza brand. Uncle Willie, he'll make a song about a couple of toppings. I make a song about what's going on in the streets, and it's like little fun, good music that I tied into Cordaro Pizza. Also, our collab. That's another thing. Collab with your folks, man. Again, I Am So Easy, man. Also, the founder and creator of Sangria 5, the best sangria in the whole world. He designed these pizza boxes. He was like, "Hey, man, if you do the pizza, I'm gonna design your box off the strength." So he been doing that. So the first 2 months, he was painting boxes, and people buying. They buying pizza and the box. And we started doing, for the whole summer, we did the summer special, sangria and pizza for $25. So again, like being creative, man, with those who love you and you love them, and also who has a piece that's something that can complement you and your business. I had the food, he had the drink. That's a happy marriage.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, I'm not mad at it. And so, how do you use your platform? Obviously, we're talking about injustice. We're talking about unrest right now. How do you use your platform to speak out against injustice?
So I might lose some fans on this one. I don't use my platform to speak against it because I don't believe in debating someone who has no love or no respect for me. And so when you do that, and I'm not against those who do it, but again, I just sit back. I talk to my circle of friends, people I engage with on a daily basis, whether it be in a conference call for work, going here, traveling, someone. We have a conversation. We can delve in that on that topic, but I just don't. It doesn't go well with my energy, not energy, but like. I say my aura of going out there, putting out, because I know I'm very blunt. If you know me, I'm blunt, and I don't hold my tongue, and it may come off rude or inappropriate, or it might, offend someone. And I have no malice. I have no malice in it. And then we see it every day. I see a post. People like, I read something, and I say, okay, I respect that. That's your point of view. I keep it moving. But then I go in and read 155 comments like, F you. You ain't this because you don't believe in that. I'm like, see, and that's why I don't want to get into it. So I use my platform to speak about the injustice, and also it's traumatizing. I'm a very emotional person, and yet to this day would never look at the George Floyd video. I heard about it, and I would never look at that. I get chill bumps. Think about it now. Again, I made a mistake by made a mistake by seeing Ahmaud Arbery. I get a little emotional because
That's
terrifying. That's terrifying for me to see that brother get chased down and shot like he was an animal.
Right.
And so for like the first couple months of COVID, I wasn't sleeping well. I was traumatized from that. And I know we all been through something, but that took me out the game for a little bit. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't eating right. It's like, man, things were off. So I'm not good at posting trauma. My mother and father always, preached to my brother and also my younger sister, man, we're not victims. So don't walk out here as a victim. Defend yourself at all times, but do not use that victimhood, like use it, transmute that energy and make it something great. And so I do that by not posting trauma because I don't do well with that.
and a lot of people don't. Me and my girlfriend of mine were just talking about that. So it's good to be aware, but it's also good to be sensitive.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has the same, level of, not, I don't want to say insensitivity, but not everyone can see everything. So not
Yes.
everything should be out on social media.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's switch topics a little bit, make it a little bit lighter.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
support and envision growth in your community, whether it's back home in the DMV or where you're at right now.
Oh yeah. So you said how do I envision growth, or how do I go about it?
Support and envision growth.
Okay, so one thing, y'all, if you're a friend of mine, or if you have anything, I come across it, I support you. You have a business, send it to me. I'll buy your book. I'll buy your socks. I'll buy your lipstick, whatever. It may not be for me. I can find someone to give it away to, because it's all about recycling that. Just support someone who putting out their energy and time, who trying to make an honest living, honest dollar.
Yeah.
And the way I do that, I have friends who are also business owners. Again, man, my brother. I Am So Easy, man, Sangria 5. I buy his drinks every weekend. I go to a function. I had Sangria 5. When I have friends come in town, we go to Comfort LA, first and last. So I have another friend, but like my sister, man, Made by Mill. She makes tie-dye. Also, a young lady, Neve, Amazing Art Shop. She makes face masks and tie-dye T-shirts and socks. Yeah, you make something, I'm buying it to support you and show love. And so if you're like local vendors, I go once a month when they do local vendors out here in the Merck Park. I take about $60 to $80. Now it's go around someone new. You make candles. I like this. Here you go. Here you go, $20. Hey, what's your change? Nah, you keep. That's the tip. You gotta make little necklaces. I'll buy that from you. How much is that? $10. Here you go. 10 for tip. So it's like always just like just recycling in that dollar, man, and showing love and support for those around you.
Yes, so keeping the Black dollar in the Black community.
And also give back. And everybody know me. I'm a country boy at heart, man, from Waldorf, Maryland, roots in Rocky Mount, North Carolina, and Gloucester, Virginia. So my family, we always had an open door policy, man. If you're hungry, to come to me, come get something to eat. I do free brunches all the time. Once a month, I come up here, man. I get chicken and waffles, grits, eggs, whatever, and I say first come, first serve. So I feed my neighbors in my complex here, my apartment complex. My friends pull up, man, with the kids and family, and then, we are following COVID, so we got a mask. I got my screen over here, so don't anybody coming in. So you gonna stay outside. I bring it. I give free food away, because it's all about feeding, man, feeding your community. And I think food is that one place we all can meet and sit down, chop it up, and you see that joy and love.
Yes, for sure. So let's ask some fun questions. We're towards the end of the interview, so let's ask some fun questions. Talk about being very cerebral. I know you like to read. So what are some of the books on your top 5 list that you read? So split it up, 3 and 2. Books that you're reading now and books that you read before, but top 5 books.
Okay. This one can be hard to do in order, but one book that I frequent a lot is called The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. Yeah, but by Khalil Gibran. He's a Lebanese poet. One good book. Another book, which I'm reading now, rereading. I read it in high school and college by William Roden. That's called $40 Million Slaves. Which is talking about the athletes and these $1 million and these contracts and the things they do and don't do, stuff like that. So I think it came full circle, especially in this time that we living in now. How some are scared to speak up and do certain things compared to the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's, Robert. I'm sorry, not was it Jim Brown and his Muhammad Ali, so on and so forth. Yeah. So that's another book. Another book I love is As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. That's a resource book I like. A book I'm reading now, we're starting a book club. One of my friends, homegirl, put me on to. I can grab it real quick.
Sure.
The Gucci Man Guide to Greatness. So shout out to Gucci, man. Yeah, so I'm reading this now. That's number 4.
Okay. One more. One more.
I would say number one, and I say the Bible.
Hey.
You can find allegory and parables of your life and of your walk in there somewhere. You don't have to be a believer or follow it, but you can find yourself in that book. And to be honest, to be a student of life as well, I can shout out everyone, wherever you believe in any ethnic background or any faith belief system. After reading everything, almost everything, it's all one source. And we have similar stories and allegories and parables in all books. So, so I don't judge and look at you. So if you're a witness, if you're Muslim, if you believe in Christian, you Hindu, I can still sit down and study and learn from you as well. So, but a faith-based book like a Bible has helped me out and find, help me get through certain things in life.
For sure. So let's talk about that a little bit. What are some of your favorite verses?
Ooh, my favorite verses. Now, I'm not
address person.
A theologian, but one is I would say, John chapter 10, I believe. Don't quote me on it, but start at 30 and go to 38.
Okay, a passage.
So I believe because it was when Jesus was getting rock thrown at him by the Jews. He turned around and said, "Why you stone me?" And he was saying that they were saying, "Oh, you speaking blasphemy? You saying that you're God?" And Jesus turned around and said, "Doesn't that say in your law that ye are gods, sons of the Most High?"
Okay.
So not blasphemy if that's who you are.
Right.
I think that's one passage I've never heard in not one study or not one sitting of church or anywhere I've been. And I believe there is an agenda. I believe once you have anything man-made has an agenda behind it. So that's just how I think. But also, especially when it comes to business. But I've never heard that. So for men and women out there, if you believe you're God, you have that feeling, you're right. You are. You are a piece of God, or whoever you believe in. If you don't, it's okay. So I ain't blaspheming. So if I say I'm God, I'm God. And I'm confident.
Okay, but that's what it is.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. Okay, so unfortunately, we have reached the end of this episode of the Black Motivation Podcast. I want to thank you so much for coming on here and chatting with us tonight about your story, about your businesses, about the community, the Black community, and what's going on, some of the topics, some of the things that are going on in our community. I really want to appreciate and thank you for coming on tonight.
I thank you actually for the opportunity to be here tonight. It's a pleasure. I had fun talking to you. I appreciate you. For sure.
And I want to thank everyone for tuning in, everyone who's watching our playback. Thank you for the views. And please feel free to comment because we're going to get on here and we're going to comment back. So like, love, share, subscribe. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. So tell me, Cordaro, what words of motivation would you like to leave us with on this week's episode of the Black Motivation Broadcast?
I would say my motto I live by is my one of my brands. Dream, believe, create. And don't stop creating. When you stop creating, that's when you die. And also the last 3 points is the AAA I use in my life. Acknowledge, admit, and accept. So you can move forward. So something don't go wrong, something don't go right, acknowledge it, admit your wrongdoing, you're part of it, and accept it for what it is. For example, I have a speech impediment. I slur some of my words, and I stutter sometimes. I acknowledge that. I admit it, and I accept it. So now I can move forward with confidence. So if you talk trash, you stuttering, so I acknowledged it. I admit what it is. So everything, man. We all the gods and goddesses, man. Just love yourself. Keep dreaming, believe in creating. If you want to reach out to me, my phone is always on. I can leave that for you. You can email me and IG, Facebook, whatever. If you need a couple minutes, I got an ear for you. I ain't got an hour, but I got an ear. I got a couple minutes for you.
There we go. So tell us, how can we find you on social media and the web? How can we follow you and support what you're doing?
Yes. So Instagram, Cordaro for you, Cordaro, number 4, letter U. Twitter, the same thing. Facebook at Cordaro Davis. You can see my name here. My email it's straightforward too. My first and last name, Cordaro Davis @gmail.com. My phone number is 202-735-8838. Again, 202-735-8838. Reach out to me again through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, any means you want to. Group me, all that. Group chat. We'll find a way. If you're looking back, reach out to Ashley. I'm pretty sure she can make connections as well.
Yes, you can follow me everywhere. Facebook, Instagram at Black Truth Media. BLACK Truth Media. All right. So thank you everyone for joining us. Stay tuned for next week's episode. We got a double header next week. We got an episode on Monday and an episode on Wednesday. Okay, so tune in next week. We got a double header, 2 episodes. But in the meantime, everyone have a lovely evening. We are out. All right.
Going up Friday. Girl, Pizzeria.